Hey everybody, it's Tammy from Reconstruction Yoga, and I started this series of videos to help people reconstruct their mind, their body, and their spirit. And because I wanted to hopefully engage people who want to learn about yoga, but are a little bit intimidated by all of the terminology, and or maybe they might be a little fearful of the postures or asanas. I've got cats that are going to help me today. Can you see back there and here? Yeah, so sorry about that. But in today's Back to Basics video, we're going to talk about another pose. This one's going to build on some previous ones that I talked about before, which is the mountain pose and the tree pose. And it's one that's going to help you get rested between different asanas. So let me give you a brief Cliff Notes version of what yoga means. I said this in our very first video that I shared. So yoga actually means union of the body, the mind, and the spirit. Abby, get up. Okay, I'm sorry. And as we synchronize these three elements through breath and movement and spiritual practice, we strengthen and balance our entire system, which in turn decreases and can eliminate a lot of stress and some of the ailments or physical ailments that you have on a regular basis. So I chose to start sharing asanas instead of the breathing or spiritual practice because as we age, our physical balance decreases rapidly, and I want to make sure that we keep our bodies moving because it'll strengthen our muscles and our tendons and in turn supply that strengthening pressure to our bones to help us from not breaking them so easily or fracturing them so easily. So today I'm going to talk about downward facing dog, and the Sanskrit version of how you say downward facing dog is Adho Mukha Svanasana. I'm not going to say it again, downward facing dog, okay? So to do this pose, you start in your mountain pose, which I demonstrated in a previous video, and then you're going to sit back on your heels and then put your arms straight out in front of you onto your mat. Then you're going to lower your knees to your mat, and you're going to be in like a tabletop position. Your hands are going to be directly underneath your shoulders, and then you're going to tuck your toes, and you're going to slowly lift those knees off of the mat as you push your hips up to the sky. And then you're going to look like a V on your mat, okay? So it really strengthens and tightens it actually strengthens the muscles in your legs and strengthens the muscles in your arms. So it's designed to stretch those hamstrings and your chest and to lengthen your spine this way. It's going to provide additional blood flow to your head and leave you feeling energized and rested and ready for your next asana. Okay, so let me demonstrate, but I've got a kitty cat over here that might not move for me, but I'll see if I can get around her. And I'm going to talk a little bit louder because I know that as I move further away from the computer, you can't hear me. So I'm going to talk a little louder. Hopefully you can hear me. Monarch, I need you to move. Maybe she won't move. So let me just stay right here. So you start in your mountain pose, okay? Start in your mountain pose like this. And you're going to sit back on your heels. I'm going to turn this way so you can see it a little bit better. You're going to sit back on your heels and bring your hands out forward and your knees to your mat. Okay. Hands are going to be directly underneath your shoulders. Oh, there she goes. Hands directly underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Take your toes under. Lift your knees off of the mat as you slowly push your hips up to the sky. And lower those heels back and push yourself back as far as you can. You can take and open up your feet a little bit if you like. Okay, all right. And just pedal those feet out a little bit. And there is your downward facing dog. You come back over and try doing that, starting from your mountain pose a couple of times and then sitting back and then going into your downward facing dog, coming back to your heels and then going back up into your mountain pose. Try that several times and see how that feels. And if you need to have a wall next to you to help support you, that's even better. So try that one, see what you think, and until next time, Have a wonderful day and namaste.